Isoroku Yamamoto. A huge strategist, mastermind of Pearl Harbor, and the head of Japan Navy during World War II. Yamamoto was so important that he was the highest-ranking commander assassinated during the war. His plane was shot down by the American Air Force on April 18, 1943. Beyond a doubt, Yamamoto would be known by all the world thanks to Pearl Harbor. Despite not perfect executed, this attack would give Japan control of the Pacific for a while. The tragic thing is, Yamamoto has never wanted to his country be part of the war. Actually, his story is full of being misunderstood and left alone as well by his government and staff. While Yamamoto was a naval attaché in the USA in 20s, he observed the industrial potential of the country and the nationalist attitude of the people. Therefore he repeatedly stated that it should not go to war with this country as much as possible. However, at that time Japan was under the influence of extremist army officers and they had complete control over the emperor. Yamamoto even survived the assassination while he was in Tokyo in 1939. Yamamoto didn't manage to convince the government. Prime Minister Hideki Tojo decided to attack the USA. And Yamamoto would be responsible of naval in this war. As a strategist, Yamamoto knew that they first have to make play US Pacific Naval out of the game quickly. And the opening move of this chess game was Pearl Harbor. Because here was the main refueling center for US aircraft carriers. Yamamoto's second move was to occupy critical locations in the Pacific and form a defensive belt. He devised an alternative plan that involved attacking the west coast of the United States, but was later cancelled. The war began in December 7, 1941. More than 350 Japan aircrafts attacked the harbor in 2 waves. About 180 aircrafts was destroyed, several battleships damaged. And 2,403 American soldiers died. Everything seemed good for Japan Navy, but was not. The aircrafts had missed the huge oil station in the north. And the big aircraft carriers was not in there at that day. That meant the attack had failed to achieve its strategic goals. After this attack, Japan Army quickly invaded its targets such as Malaya, Philippines. But they extended too much the defense belt than Yamamoto had planned. Because these victories had blinded them, but next year, in 1942, as Yamamoto had said before, US Navy was ready to fight back. In June 7, 1941, Battle of Midway would be a turning point for Japan. Japan's strategic Navy forces would be demolished by US aircrafts. From Midway victory on, US forces began to get the occupied areas back from Japan one by one. The initiative was no longer with Japan. The strange is, most of their land forces were in China at the day Japan got surrender, but Yamamoto would not witness that. He killed April 18, 1943 because of his plane was crashed by US aircrafts. Americans was angry him because of Pearl Harbor. But above all, he knew that he was the mastermind of Japanese army. Yamamoto was a great strategist. But there was no one who could understand him in his circle. Yamamoto had warned the government repeatedly about the industrial capacity of USA. But they were not ready to listen to him because of their arrogance. Moreover, they didn't want to stick to his plans while the war was going on. That is the fate for most of strategists.